Hello, hello, you guys. Kelly Hoover here. So great to connect with you. Part 4 of our 4-part series about CBD. Tonight we're talking about anti-aging. So if you haven't caught the first 3, make sure that you catch those. If you're catching this on the replay, drop in the comments replay so we know who is tuning in. We are so excited, so excited about all the things that we have learned about CBD. It has been incredible sort of diving in. Amber, who has been my co-host for these series, we are nerds at heart and retired, I should say. We have had the opportunity to really learn a lot about CBD and the endocannabinoid system. And Amber is hopping on, and I am hoping that we're not echoing because I didn't put headphones on. Are we echoing?
Hi.
All right, you guys, let us know if you can hear us.
Are we
or are we frozen?
frozen, Kelly? Okay, no, I think we've just aligned. I think we're good now.
It must be the flight coming in from Asheville.
Everybody.
No echo!
Yeah, I'm sure.
Whoop, whoop. Yes.
Okay, good. Yes, and you don't even have a headset
forgot.
on.
I'm so excited.
It's okay. I have mine, so hopefully that's enough. I'm losing it, but I have it.
Okay, all right,
Okay.
you guys, so thanks for tuning in. Let us know where you are watching from. Make sure to click the share button. We are not talking about any products tonight. We're not talking about any company tonight. We're just sharing the knowledge that we have learned about CBD and anti-aging tonight. So this is our 4th and final educational series. Who knows what will happen after, maybe next week, maybe we'll be back on to talk about more things. But if you haven't caught the part 1, 2, and 3, where we talk about the difference between CBD and THC, then we dove into a little bit more about things you don't know about CBD. And then we dove into the science and how the endocannabinoid system works in your body. So now that we sort of know those things, we're diving in a little bit more about like our skin and the anti-aging effects, right, Amber?
That's right. Lots going on there. I was amazed to see all the information that we researched and found about just, endocannabinoids and that whole system and the research behind it. Amazing and super interesting to me. But to know that not only within our bodies, but even on the surface, on our skin, what it can do outside the body as well.
So I know for us, this topic, the anti-aging topic, is super exciting since we have officially crossed over that 40 plus mark. Right?
We're in the 40 club.
Yeah. Inside, but the reality is we are 40. So anything that we can do we know we're reversing our insides backwards already, but anything that we can continue to do to help ourselves, I am all about. So one of the things that we're just going to educate you guys about tonight is just things that we have learned about CBD and the anti-aging, and then just give you guys some tips as to things that potentially could help. So one of the things to know about your skin is when you're early 20s, you actually stop producing collagen, okay? Which you look at kids and you look at younger people and they have very, very full faces. And as you get older, you see people's faces thinning out. You see women getting, maybe men too, getting collagen injections, at different places to sort of add that fattier look back in your face, that fullness. You stop producing collagen, and that is part of what really helps the oils produce in your skin, and your skin gets smooth. So as you're going through that aging process, you really need to sort of have that in there, because you're going to get fine lines, you're going to get wrinkles. That's why a ton of people really like to put collagen protein. I know that's something that we both do. But what CBD does is it really fights that whole healing process, that internal healing process. It fights all of that inside the body, which then in turn can help the skin, help reproduce some of those things, which potentially could lead to less wrinkles, less aging process.
That's right. And yeah, I'm totally on board with everything you just said. Like, you had me engrossed. Now I've lost my spot. But I'm going to jump in and talk about, you know, earlier in the series, we were talking about CBD and, you know, the endocannabinoid system, how it works inside our bodies, talking about those CB1 and CB2 receptors, how they're activated and receive CBD products. But it's kind of a little bit different when it comes to our skin, because there's a special set of receptors on our skin, and that is known as TRPV1 receptors, where those are they've kind of moderate our feelings in our skin all over our bodies, not just our faces, but heat, touch, and pain. So with CBD and those properties with the endocannabinoids, it kind of goes into play as to why there's such an effect when you use a CBD based product, that it helps with those effects, because of those natural oils, you know, used in skincare too. They have naturally fatty acids and antioxidants in the hemp seed oil. And that's why it makes it such a good choice to use in a skincare type regimen when you have various skincare issues, whether that's dry skin or rosacea or eczema or the fine lines and wrinkles. The hemp seed is able to provide a lot of those things that are going to activate those TRPV1 receptors.
I got the CB1 and CB2 down, and then we're learning about TRPV1.
We threw a whole new receptor
in.
into.
If you guys see us looking at, we have pages and pages of notes, because we've read so much, and we want to make sure that we're giving you, you know, the good information. And this isn't like off the cuff natural for us, because we're just sort of learning. So that's what we're doing. We're looking at our notes to make sure we give you the most. So yeah, TRPV1 receptor. Now we got it, right? We got it. So another thing that we have read some about, and CBD potentially could show help in acne treatment. So people who get, you know, pimples, whether it's maybe youth or whether maybe it is sound like Droid. Yeah, I know, right, Lacey? Or maybe it's adult acne, right? But here's the thing, is that the essential fatty acids that are found in the products like CBD, they actually can help, and they help fight that anti-inflammatory effect within your body. And that is something that is very soothing for acne, because acne breakouts. Like, if you ever have a breakout, I mean, I have those. I'm sure you do. I think most people probably do. A lot of them are caused from bacteria on the surface of the skin. So if you have that sort of anti-inflammatory help happening with inside, it potentially could help with that, right? The other thing, which I am excited about this potential fact, because the puffy eyes, like under eye puffiness. The reality is like our skin underneath our eyes is thinner. It's more sensitive, right? And a lot of creams, a lot of eye gels, and a lot of different things that people use for that, sometimes it's too harsh for that area of skin, right? So you have to be really careful with what you put on there, like any sort of the typical eye creams. But what has been potentially shown in some CBD potential products is that it obviously is infused again with that anti-inflammatory benefit, right? And the benefits just of CBD in general, and it can potentially gently tighten the skin and reduce puffiness. And especially when you have that really delicate eye area, and you have usually thinning, especially as you are aging. I know that I am really, really hopeful that research is definitely accurate.
Yeah. You and me both, right? I mean, you turn that 40 club, and like you said, we feel great. Like we are giving our insides a good fuel, a good source of fuel every day. But sometimes, like, you see it on the outside, like, oh, where did this gray hair, where did this little line come from? Like, why is this happening? I don't feel like I'm 40. So are we gonna get in now to some of like the just natural things that we can do, you know, outside of CBD? What can you do, you know, personally to supplement the process of keeping those endocannabinoids healthy and active within your own bodies? They're all there, like we've talked about on the previous videos. We have them endogenously. They're active in our systems, but sometimes if we're not taking care of ourselves the right way, we lose that activity, right? So some things outside a little bit of the CBD market and world that you can just do and be diligent about. One is exercise. Okay, just having a good exercise, consistent cardiovascular type routine, that is going to support the production and raise levels of your endocannabinoids in both people and animals. So they found that finding physical activity is pleasing to you, and that's going to release those, kind of endorphins and the endocannabinoid receptor response within ourselves. So doing more of it will stimulate the production. So are you exercising 2, 3, 4 times a week? Even moderate exercise, right? The other thing that you can naturally, just do to help this natural process is watch your alcohol intake. Consuming less alcohol is going to help boost that also, but when you consume more, it does interfere with the endocannabinoid process. So 2 little helpful hints outside of the CBD world that we're talking about, taking CBD, but what can you do personally to help boost that production and keep it active within your body.
And if you guys are like, what is an endocannabinoid system? Go back to our video from Monday night. Video 3. Into what is an endocannabinoid system and how does it work with your, every other of your 11 systems in your body. So go back to that. So these are just some tips that we're sharing to help with having that natural system outside of any CBD products. So obviously everyone needs to hear this one, is reducing stress in your life, right? I mean, that will put some age on you when you have a high stress life. And sometimes, that sometimes you can help that and sometimes you can't. But if you find yourself in that situation, or you find yourself, you're a highly stressed person, like, you need to have things built into your life to reduce that stress. So things could be, yoga. They could be meditation. It could be physical, like, just sitting still and being in the moment. Finding something to reduce that stress level is certainly going to help you age less, right? And keep a healthy cannabinoid system. So other thing is to think about like what you're putting in your body outside of your food, omega-3s, omega-6s, nutritional vitamins, supplements. What are you putting into your system? Because yes, you need to have quality food. Yes, you do need to exercise. But the way that our food is you cannot get all the nutritional value that you need from that. So you have to think about what else are you putting? Are you eating fish? And what kind of quality fish is it? Really diving in and seeing what that omega-6 and that omega-3 really looks like. Because you really have to have a balanced diet overall.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that you were talking about self-care. This is something that I personally have gotten more and more into probably within the last year or so. And one of my favorite things is pretty simple, but it's journaling. I love to take out just a blank piece of paper and write some things down to get stress out of my head and into paper and, onto something else, right? Move on. And then to write down just every day what I'm thankful for and blessed about. And that's a great way to start your day. So it sounds really simple, and it is, but it really kind of welcomes in the good to your world. So it really is an awesome stress reducer. And I think you do that too, Kelly, right? Okay, so the last kind of couple things you can do outside of the CBD world is, decrease that unhealthy negative dietary habit like Kelly was just talking about, because that's going to impair proper metabolism of the fatty acids. That's going to lead to, it's going to come out in your skin and the way you look and your overall appearance. And it's going to increase the toxins in your body. So adding foods like hemp seed oil, hemp oil, flaxseed, chia seed, fish, eggs, all of those are high ratios of those omega-3s and omega-6s, which are super good for your skin. And they provide the proper, it's a 3 to 6 ratio is what they tell you to look for. And of course, fresh vegetables, fruits that are organic, preferably. And then the last thing is when you do go into the CBD world, and it's becoming a great big world out there right now, right? There's a lot of talk and there's a lot of products that are coming more and more and more to market. around CBD is, really take the time to look at what you're buying. Don't run out to the first store you see that has a bottle of CBD on the shelf and scoop it up and take it home and expect your world to change, because this is like anything else in life. You get what you pay for. And I would venture to say that most of these products, if you're getting a good quality product, are going to be on the higher end of the spectrum with what you pay, but you're going to see the benefits. Today I saw a friend, and I'm not going to name any kind of names or put anybody out there like that, but I did see a post on Facebook that somebody had mentioned that they were curious about CBD, and they saw it in a video store. They saw a little container of this video store selling CBD products. And it would be my educated guess that that's a very low end, low quality product that's probably not going to render very much result. So when you are starting to think about these benefits and if they could benefit you personally, and you want to go into, trying them out for yourselves, please be able to trust the source of where it's coming from. Speak to somebody about it, know where it's harvested and how it's sourced. We talked in an earlier video that if it's sourced with heat, you lose a lot of the medical benefits that it would bring to you. So just know what it is that you're going to purchase, what you're going to spend your money on, to know that, you're bringing something high quality and high grade into your bodies. So that's kind of my last little piece of advice in this series.
And the last thing that I will close with, you guys, before we end up is just think about like the anti-aging process, and just think about your skin. Your skin is your largest organ. So how are you caring for it? Not only on the outside, but on the inside. What sort of sunscreen are you using? What sort of, things do you put on your face, on your body? Do they have chemicals? Are they natural? All of these sort of things. And then you have to think about your skin being your largest organ, what you put in your mouth. Because obviously that's going to impact it too. Healing from the inside out. And through our research and through a lot of things that we've done, we really are loving what we're learning about just the whole CBD world. Obviously, more to come. There is so much out there. There'll be more that we'll be sharing in the future. And so if you haven't caught the first 3 videos, please go back and watch them. They're very educational. And if there is any questions that anyone has, whether you know us or not, drop it in the comments or send us a private message. We have definitely had some of those, and we've been able to do some research for some specific questions that people have had. We want to learn. We're very, that's part of our background, being coming from the pharmaceutical world. We're used to really diving in and being the expert of things. And so, Amber, it's been so fun, like learning and diving in. And I feel like I'm so prepared. Like I am telling everybody I know, like what the differences is, because here's the thing, even educated people don't know, and we didn't know either. So thanks for doing this series with me. It's been incredible.
Absolutely. I was happy to do it, and I can't wait to learn more. And if we find new things along the way, we're happy to share them with you guys.
Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in.